Can they see our hands? Can we like thumb war right here?
I think a little bit, maybe. Just hold hands the whole time for comfort. Yeah. Okay, welcome back. We are so overdue. I have been like a month off of podcasts because it's been controlled chaos here, but this is the start of getting back on regular programming. And
oh man,
we brought the one and only Cameron Hotchkiss.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
Welcome. Oh, wait, I got it.
Thank you.
Cam, you are a multi-talented, multi-industry shooter.
Thanks, dude.
For photo and video.
Mm-hmm.
And, just take the floor for a split second. Tell everybody who you are, and then I'll start poking away at you.
Yeah. I'm Cam Hotchkiss. Been doing the film and photo thing I'm coming up on 10 years, man. I'm getting old. Kind of got my feet wet with kind of starting in the mountain bike world with a good friend of mine. I've just been pursuing anything from trophy trucks to rock crawlers to moto to ski to mountain bike. Kind of anything and everything. When you have ADD, it's kind of nice to hop around a little bit.
Yeah, so, I feel you there.
Yeah. So, I don't even know where to start, but it's been quite the journey. So,
well, I get the question all the time, and I've kind of told it plenty of times because it comes up in whatever, at events, in person. Everybody kind of wants to know if you're into doing this, like ourselves, how did you initially get into it? Like, where did the love for cameras come? Where did you think, this might be my avenue, this industry specifically, motorsports, action sports, whatever it may be? Some guys go down the route of commercial, film, just strictly storytelling, but you kind of found a niche of combining all those, commercial, storytelling, everything, but while staying in primarily action, motorsports, extreme sports.
Yeah. So, what kind of got me into all this, like I've always had, as you've discovered over the years, a weird brain. And I just, I had a really good friend of mine, Sky Schillhammer, now is the head marketing honcho at Transition Bikes. He's a really creative dude and super talented on mountain bikes. And one day he was like, hey, my filmer fell through to film a thing with Silver Mountain Bike Park like forever ago. He's like, can you run a camera for me? I can kind of help you set things up.
Had you used cameras at this point?
No, not really? Besides like GoPros
just
and whatever stuff. But anyways, went out with him. We put something together that was actually for the time like pretty sweet. And I think I got a free season pass and like a pair of bars and grips out of the deal.
Which at the time was probably the sickest thing ever.
Yeah, totally. So, so that was kind of my intro, to cameras and that sort of thing. Like, I'm very gifted with being very medium at everything that I do. So it's when you're with the big dogs with it, whether it's skiing or mountain biking or whatever, I think like film and photo, like I can hang and I can make it happen, but film and photo kind of allows me to like share this story of this human or athlete and, refine my skills and like, I guess add to the
live
mix.
Vicariously a little bit.
Yeah, totally. And I've just kind of always been intrigued by all things action sports and, what these athletes and individuals like put themselves through to be at the top of their game. And, the camera was my way to be a part of it.
Yeah, you've done some awesome storytelling pieces just locally here even. You got a crew who one of them is actually our moto riders, Blake Bowerman, who rides track. And then in the winter months, those guys are gnarly skiers.
Yep.
And you guys did this awesome film. I know we pushed on our social a bit. You probably saw it, Famous Potatoes.
Yep.
Which was kind of short docu-series, or not series, but kind of mini doc.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes or so. But the story you guys told, and what was cool for me, even if you're not from our area, is it was just the idea of explore your own backyard.
Totally.
Like wherever you are, this is what we have at home here. And here's a bunch of zones we've never been to. And like, why are we sleeping on this? Let's go explore something new. And you painted that picture damn well.
Thank you, man. Yeah, those guys, I've really only crossed paths with Essex, Blake, Steven, and Kyle like 3 years ago now.
Which is funny because your personality,
yeah,
like you're really good at feeling like you've known somebody for 10 years.
Totally.
And I figured those guys were like your homies from like middle school.
It feels that way, man. Holy cow. Our life, whatever you want to call it, experiences have been just insane, from Whistler to the most southern tip of Baja. Like we've done a lot over the last 3 years, but yeah, thankful for all those guys. I mean, the main thing with that crew is just the ability to go create something with your friends. Yeah. And I think like as being like an industry person that's been doing this for a while, you can kind of lose sight of that, where you're just kind of like, you know, chasing projects and that sort of thing. But this is the kind of thing where it's like, it's a blank slate to like create whatever we want. These guys are all very talented athletes in their own way, and they're all willing to put in the time as skiers and snowmobilers and athletes. And yeah, thankful to call them all friends, and they push me as well as a filmmaker.
Yeah. So it's totally different for me because we're kind of focusing on the same thing all the time. We're snowmobiling, we're going to location, whatever. But those guys, obviously, it was a lot more relaxed scenario. You're not working for a corporation. They're not necessarily a client, right?
Totally.
You guys are still all on the same page to produce something really cool, but you have a lot more freedom within it.
Totally.
Where does kind of the creative mind start on that? Like painting the picture of what the hell are we going to make?
Totally.
Like for us, it's like, okay, we need good snow. We need big backdrops.
Yeah.
And we need good vibes all across. But you guys have taken those elements and put a twist on them. Like your most recent one, 1.5 of Famous Potatoes, at the end kind of hinted at the story of your hut that you guys set up out there, like from the hut's perspective.
Totally.
Like how do you continuously, I don't know, just collaborate together, come up with a total new spin-off on what everybody has done already?
Yeah. Thankfully, like all those guys, like Essex and Kyle, the other Kyle Vandiver, a good friend of mine and camera operator and filmmaker locally to here. Man, we just do a really good job of like sitting down and going through details and feelings, and like, not to get all gushy, but feelings, emotions that surround these activities that we're doing, and try and figure out ways to present them in a, you know, visually stunning way. And that starts, it's a year-round thing. Like Essex is a very talented creative and athlete, where he gets both sides of it, and he's like the facilitator of like making sure we can line everything up and make it happen. So like thankful for everything that he has to provide, but everyone's got their own skill set within that group that like helps move the machine creatively and logistically to like, you know, make essentially like, you know, a passion project happen every year. And I think like the big thing with that, when we did Famous Potatoes 1, and just, you know, we literally created that film to show it at a local level. Like however it did on YouTube, that's great. But like, we just wanted to do a premiere and stoke out our local scene of like, hey, this is what our town has to offer within a 60-mile radius. You know, come out and support. And man, the turnout that we had from that, and then Famous Potatoes 1.5. And it's just, anytime that this crew can kind of get back to the community in that format, it's just been like probably one of the, it's like YouTube in real life.
Right. Totally. You have instant comments.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Just like stoking people out is, I think, why we do this, right? Yeah. Like,
I think moral of it is get your buddies together and just go capture fun stuff. Go tell your story. What do you guys do? What are you passionate about? And dig further into your own backyard.
Yep.
There's so much stuff out there. Even if you're in like a cornfield, there's got to be a really cool ditch you've never seen.
Totally. So, yeah, man, I think that's the key. Is like, I get asked all the time, like, oh, what equipment do I need and what lens do I need of this? And like, man, when we're doing the backcountry ski thing, like we are running a lean and mean setup so we can make it happen. And like, it doesn't matter if your first couple films aren't great. None of my first couple films for my first couple of years were great. I didn't go to college for any of this. Like, I'm a YouTube graduate of filmmaking. But I just put in the time and have had mentors throughout my life that have like helped open the door for me. And it's a freaking cool thing, like to take the time to, you know, do what you love to do. So,
well, that kind of opens up where I was going to transition to. It's kind of not rapid fire, quick questions.
Yeah.
Could be long answers.
Yeah.
This is a two-parter, and I might start with the negative one here first, and it's up to you if you want to reference the client or not. Or keep it
totally.
Keep it in the DL. Worst project you've ever been a part of or experience you had on a project?
Oh, I got a good one.
You didn't even hesitate.
Yeah. I got, unfortunately.
No need for name dropping.
Yeah. No. I had a job. It was a big off-road event. I was the director for it. We had 3 camera operators, drone operator, like DIT management. Like it was a big production crew for this week-long off-road trip. And with the client, when you're doing a big production like this, usually you're going through a rental house for renting equipment. And that way you can you don't have this person shooting on a Red, this person shooting on a Sony, and this one shooting Canon. Like all the equipment's the same. It's all dialed and you're ready to do this week-long production. We get to the hotel. We're getting geared up for a week of off-grid filming. Cameras haven't showed up. All these sponsors have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to be a part of this thing, and it's not our job to make sure we're the crew, we're showing up and doing the work. And man, we literally we had everything but camera bodies. So we had glass, we had batteries, we had media, we had no camera bodies to make this thing happen. And I'm literally basically we're landing, building cameras, and already starting sponsor interviews was supposed to be the scope of the day. And anyways, we made a bunch of phone calls. I was sending guys all over the state to basically through, I forget what the app was, but you can rent through privately owned. And we got 4 cameras lined up and we made it happen, and we shot the whole show, and no sponsor knew of the wiser, and they were so stoked that we made it happen. So
talk about no stress. Huh?
Yeah, it was literally the worst, 40 to start off a trip like that, 48 hours of just trying to figure it out, to then be working 18-hour days for a week straight.
Well,
so
Tristan over here knows a little bit about rental cameras and their policies for getting them replaced.
Ouch.
had a little incident this winter.
Oh no.
A little rigging incident. Tip over.
Oh no.
Slight panic moment, but it's good for him.
It's good. It's good because it probably won't happen again.
I kind of want Tristan here all the time because he's like my Jamie now behind the scenes.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, that was a big one. Lots of money involved sponsor wise, and we're obviously promising we're going to make a product, and we aren't provided the equipment needed to make it happen. But anyways, I could go forever on this subject.
Well, then flip the script.
Yeah.
Best experience ever. Now that could be something that happened outside of the actual shooting.
Totally.
Whether location or you guys had a rental car and you jumped at 40 feet, whatever, that type of best experience. Is there something that stands out every now and then? You think about that and go, holy shit, we survived it, or holy shit, that was the coolest thing we've ever had happen?
Yeah. Holy smokes. It's where do you start? What season?
I know.
I mean, I think getting into what we're doing with photo and filmmaking, and what you've done with the 509 brand is we're here for the experiences, right? You can't sit at a desk all the time kind of thing. You need to get out and get amongst it.
ADHD boys.
Yep. 100%. So, I think one of my more recent ones was our 3-week trip that we took down to Baja. It was really cool. I've been to Baja to film the 1000 down there, but it's always been in a work capacity, which this was we were still making a film, but I was basically again shooting a film with my friends. So it's a little bit different tempo. And that was crazy, man. From getting shaken down by cops to camping in the most remote places, and surfing sweet waves, and getting to enjoy that with some of your closest friends.
Didn't you have some issues where the bikes didn't show up, or are they still stuck down there?
Yeah, they're still stuck down there. Yeah, Essex, poor guy. He built 2 motorcycles for us to do our Baja trip, which that was insane. Like getting to able to ride like a completely empty beach on a moto and grab as many gears as you want, and you can just go for miles and miles and miles. But man, every day just on that trip had its own set of challenges. You're just like, I'm just trying to get tortillas, cheese, beans and eggs, and some cervezas, and like make it back to camp safe and sound, and like surf till I can't see straight anymore.
Nobody got robbed. We didn't have any issues with the mafia or the cartel.
Yeah, there's some stories that probably aren't going to hit this podcast, but yeah, it was good. Moral of the story, like we got to the end. It was funny. We booked this like 5-star resort at the end because we'd just been sleeping in tents for like 3 weeks straight. And we're just like, I literally look like I got a 1/4 inch of sand just stuck to me. My hair is all like wedgied to one side. Like we just look homeless, but we're in this brand new car that's just totally just like destroyed from like 3,000 miles of Baja. And it was just like, I don't know, you kind of get it. It's like the type 2 fun's kind of the best fun. And 3 weeks later, you're like, holy cow, we lived.
We talk about type 2 fun frequently. Yeah. Not fun at the time in the moment. And then the second you complete it and look back on it.
Yeah, but I feel like once we've done it enough times, we can understand in the moment it's type 2 fun, and we're going to be stoked.
Oh, totally. I've been on rides like that where I have acknowledged like we're having type 2 fun right now.
Yeah, like this sucks, but we're doing it.
It's like I hate this, but I know how satisfying it's going to be to complete this.
Totally.
And then we're going to want, for some stupid reason, do it again.
Totally. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Like pack saddle.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, and I think it's cool because, like, not to go cheese ball, but it's sweet to, like, you kind of find something within yourself when you do stuff like that. You're like, holy cow, I'm, like, kind of medium, but I'm durable.
Yeah. I'm bouncy.
Yeah, totally. Straight up. I think Essex and all those boys will agree to that. Cam he'll make it.
Cam Daddy, the one and only.
Yeah, so, but...
When's that piece coming out?
The Baja Surf one, I think we're going to try and do a doubleheader premiere. So it'll be this year's ski film that we're currently in post-production on, and then the surf film. So we might drop the surf film earlier, but that's kind of the current game plan. And then we're going to have like a huge premiere in Coeur d'Alene again. So
that'll be cool, dude. I love what you guys do for the local community here.
Thanks, man.
I mean, even the little tiny premiere you did a couple months ago.
Yeah. It was just a last minute flash premiere.
Packed house.
Standing room only.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder. And it's the coolest thing is how many people come out for like a 12, 15 minute thing. Like, they know that. They know what it's going to be, but they know it's going to be rad. So don't bite off more than you can chew also. I think if you tell the story correctly, you don't have to make this thing an hour full feature.
Totally.
You guys have successfully told some great stories in a really short format.
Yeah, and I think that was the big thing. Like, dude, we almost didn't make 1.5 because we filmed, like, I was looking at my cards for that. Like, we filmed, like, I think it was like 25 days or something like that, and I used 2 days of footage. That's how skunked we got with snow. And like, we were just like, I don't know. I'm like, there's some gems on here, but I don't know if there's a film in it. Right. And like Essex sat down, like, again, that dude's a legend with helping with storyline and like communicating emotions that he had from that year. And
his voiceovers are great.
Yeah, like the dude, like, again, like, I can run a camera, but words and numbers are not my thing. Yeah. So Essex came in and he helped with the story, and I did the nuts and bolts on the editing, and like, seriously, that crew, everyone there, like, helps, like Kyle, Steven, Blake, Essex, they all help in their own ways, and it makes it a pretty sweet process.
Pretty seamless,
yeah.
So now my last of my 3 here.
Yep.
Coolest either interaction you've had. If you ever had the most random thing, like, oh my God, like, like, I don't know, The Rock just walked by us, or
oh man,
or like, Brad Pitt was on set for some reason nobody knows about. Something like that level of experience. Have you ever had a weird one where something just comes out of left field that you never would have expected?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a couple of different tiers on that, right? Like, I think the thing with me being a freelancer is a lot of times I don't like get to see the end result from the standpoint it's being like delivered to a client,
Right.
and then it's like it
You're
goes out
just
in the world.
part of the middleman.
Yeah, totally. But like, man, going to the premiere and like all these different things that we've done, and like have people like locally or like on the internet just be like stoked on an end product, like. That probably, I mean, you know how much sweat equity goes into making a film and being a creative person, right? You're like, is this cool? Because I don't know. It was 1 a.m. and my brain thought this was sweet, and I pressed export. So I hope you're stoked. If not, like, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. So I think that's cool. Just like having people be stoked on a creative thing that you've done, and then have a team around you to be able to like make it happen, whether that's friends or, you know, the amount of times I've asked my wife to like, hey, does this look dumb or is this cool? Like, I don't know. Like, so I'd say that's like a pretty like.
Would she tell you if it looked dumb though?
No, she loves me.
So like, maybe you put some dumb stuff out that she let fly.
Totally. That's true. So, oh man, I'm trying to like, I definitely have had weird one. I was filming an off-road thing in Alaska, and we're like in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, right? Like we've been jeeping through dirt.
Tell me it was Jewel because she lives up there.
Yeah, no. Well, okay. So there's actually two parts of the story. First part of the story, we're just jeeping up this random road in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, and we pull up and there's an earth roamer. It's like, huh.
$2 million rig.
Yeah, $2 million rig. It's like, oh wow, he's amongst it. John Mayer gets out.
Shut up.
I'm like, please sing to me.
This is the exact scenario I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally. And it was just like, wow. And granted, like no offense to off-road
like, your
world.
body is a
yeah, exactly. Like, sing to me. But no, anyway, so that was weird. I'm not going to lie. I was just kind of like, yo. And like, we just kind of kept rolling because the crew that
Short
I was
or tall in person?
Yeah, extra medium.
Okay.
Like
average.
Yeah, good looking dude though. Like his voice makes him 6'5" for sure. But
now we're getting to the cam I know.
Yeah, no, that was weird, but it was funny because I'm more of like I'm rolling with like more like Toby Keith and like Metal Militia homies. So they're like, who's that? Like, whatever. I'm like, yo, that was like John. Okay, whatever. We're rolling. And then anyways, we're like finishing up and we're like day 1,428 of this shoot. And production crew is just like, we're at a point where it's like, when you're running a camera all day in the mud, in Alaska, mosquitoes, doing the thing, we're tired of camping. Like, put us in an Airbnb. So we're in this little podunk town. Couldn't even tell you where it was to this day. I mean, I could hop online and figure it out, but it was Sarah Palin's guest house.
Huh. I have a Sarah Palin story too.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? But it was just like the groundskeeper. Anyways, it was insane.
Was it at her house?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was like her mansion thing. And then we were just over here in like a garage.
In Wasilla.
Yeah.
I've been there.
With the fish wheel and everything?
Yeah, the red little security hut when you first show up.
Yeah, and the huge fridge.
Yeah, I haven't been in the house.
The fridge is literally
I haven't been in
like
the guest
the
house.
door for the fridge is probably like 25 feet.
This is tripping me out. Why have we both been to this place?
I don't know.
It was a super weird scenario. So the first time I went to Alaska to go film 509, we had a buddy, Bobby Menny. I knew him from back in Minnesota. Like, grew up just near me, and he moved to Alaska. And he was... From what I've gathered, he was friends with the Palins because Todd, Sarah Palin's husband, raced Iron Dog.
Oh.
He raced snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And Bobby raced Iron Dog also.
Whoa.
And they were both at the time riding Polaris and had Polaris deals. And so Bobby was coming with us to ride, and we're in the truck, and he's like, I got to stop by here and grab a part real quick. Doesn't tell us where we're going. Pull in, and I kind of notice. I'm just thinking it's Alaska, right? There's a giant American flag, and it says, armed security and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it just checks out for Alaska.
Yeah.
And we're standing in this shop, and I'm looking around. I see like all these folded flags from Afghanistan bombers and all this stuff, and I start looking at photos, and I see John McCain, and I see Sarah, and I'm like, we're in Sarah Palin's garage.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure.
And then Todd walked in.
Yeah.
And there's a plane in there. Have you been in this garage?
Yeah, no, 100%.
What the hell?
And then they have like the only like non-native fish wheel there. Anyways, I don't know. It was super weird because we were like, are we in a dream state right now? Because I'm so blown out from filming this week. But are we in Sarah Palin's house right now?
Dude, this weird that we have this same story.
This might have to be a whole nother podcast of like the time we separately stayed at Sarah Palin's house.
What if you were there at the same time?
Yeah, same time, just the other guest house.
So the first thing I did was ask Bobby, I'm like, is that Russia right there? And he goes, no. I'm like, bullshit. That was her whole campaign, and she could see Russia out of her window.
Oh my gosh.
I was so
She's
bummed.
got a good telescope though.
I was so bummed to find out that wasn't Russia. Man, what year was that? I'm trying to find. I have a photos to confirm if you've been in this garage also.
That is so funny. There's no way. It's like, it has to be. I mean, how many houses does she have?
It's the only one in Wasilla, I'd imagine. Was that 2019 I was there? May, June, February.
The only thing that I remember, so it might have been on like the outskirts of Wasilla because there was only like a gas station and we drove for like eons.
Does this shop look familiar?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Have you been in there?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, that's some weird circle of life type stuff.
Look at this video.
Oh my
Jay
gosh. Jay's just stoking.
Yeah. Dang. Well, I did not see that conversation going to the exact same scenario.
John Mayer and Sarah Palin.
I got 50% of those, which is a weird stat to even have.
Yeah, I just want to sing John Mayer now. So the one line that I know of a song.
This is the closest I got.
Where are you?
That's good enough.
John Mayer covers "Miss You" by Blink-182.
Love it.
It'd probably be beautiful.
It would be. TikTok coming to you soon.
Oh gosh, Cam, you are known for, obviously you're a little more professional at this moment.
Yeah.
Your one-liners, your wittiness, your delivery, your timing, the words you combine that I've never heard before are next level.
Yeah.
Where in the hell did you dig that from? You got funny parents, you got funny siblings,
I'm just weird, bro. Like straight up. Like
the memes you send me are just off the radar.
I know, because they're just weird, man. It's funny.
I appreciate them all.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think that's when you like cross like moto guy, mountain bike guy, surf guy.
Blending all those
it's
cultures.
Just like one big protein shake of like weird
melting pot of
weird
terminology.
Ideas. Totally. And I think too, I don't know, just like being on set with people and stuff it's nice to just have like a lighthearted mood and just like keep it fun because I'm a big, tall, 6'5" scary dude.
Yeah.
So
you're far from scary.
Yeah. Just a big teddy bear.
Yeah. So our last shoot you and I did, we did actually 2 shoots ago, we did some street stuff for the 509 motorcycle line.
Yep.
Shameless plug if you haven't checked it out. Pretty
helmets.
Sweet. Some rad jackets, some rad helmets. 509, ride509.com/street. Right?
Yes.
Forward or back? Forward.
I don't know.
Anyways, Katie, who is kind of the head of the street side and marketing, she read them to me yesterday. In her notes, she documented a lot of your one-liners.
Oh, no.
Like 10 to 15 of them.
Oh, geez.
So we're going to slowly compile these. And if a coffee table book shows up one day with your quotes and either photos of yourself or photos you've taken, do not be surprised.
Okay, it's going to be on the new Pro Model 509 day gear, by the way.
Yeah, it's going to be the LE release. Everybody's like, who the hell is this guy?
Who the frick is Cam Dog? Yeah.
It says Cam Daddy on it in quotes.
Yeah, just like sick, like Ken Block riding on it. Like, that's kind of dope, but like, is this guy actually cool? I don't know.
So that is in the works, and it has been heavily documented. So next time you're around Katie, you see her phone out, she's definitely taking notes.
She's taking notes. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I better not like overthink it or repeat anything.
No, just be you. Authentically you.
Good. So
Cam, the other thing I'm jealous of in your life is your love for kind of overlanding, off-roading, everything. Mm-hmm. You've gone full-blown. What do you classify yourself? I just like, you're like granola mixed with gasoline, mixed with a little bit of diesel.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just like a granola hillbilly good times guy. Yeah. So yeah, I don't even, where do I start with all this? I don't know. I think like the off-road world is really cool because it's sweet like I spend a lot of time in a rig just like you, or some sort of like mode of transportation. And it's cool, like getting back to like the off-road world that I'm a part of, and the mountain bike world. It's like, well, man, if we had like capable rigs, like could we go mountain bike here? Or like, hey, if we have capable rigs, can we get the sleds up higher? Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And I'm just a total gear nerd, man. Like I love geeking out. Like you were a part of my like
contagious, because now it's trickling down to me. All of a sudden I got Baja Designs lights and looking at roof racks.
Yeah, man. Man, I just want to be, I guess, a professional camper, if that makes sense, man. Like anything from Sprinter vans to trucks to Land Cruisers. Like I just think it's all cool and has its own aesthetic. And I don't know, I'm just kind of a dreamer at heart. And like, it's like kind of getting to like check something off, whether it's, I don't know, I'm weird like that. I'm just like, man, it'd be cool if I like built this truck and like did this thing. That'd be pretty cool. So
right when you said that, it got me thinking how wild the world is that we live in. A professional camper, like that exists now from YouTube.
It is. I'm trying to not say the overlander.
A professional overland camper.
Follow me. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, dude, I just like geek out on just like how to make a rig capable, and thankfully through my like off-road arc or career, you could say, I've crossed paths with a lot of really cool, influential people. And I don't know, man, it's like you get to see like them be passionate about like, oh man, like I 3-linked, this crazy rig and I put an LS6 in it and I'm going to go race King of Hammers, or like I'm going to the Baja 1000 and like I'm a total like Squirrel Team 6 of just like, wow, that's sick. Like this is dope. I need that. And like I try and do it in my own way and style. And thankfully I have a lot of talented friends that can like help me facilitate that.
Yeah, your Yoda's gonna be sick.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of our listeners have watched a lot of Motor Trend stuff over the years and a lot of Dirt Every Day.
Yep.
Cam has shot a lot of Dirt Every Day and now shoots a good majority of Dave's Dirthead Dave's YouTube channel. So if you guys are watching that stuff, Cam's definitely playing a role in that.
Yeah, man. So yeah, unfortunately, RIP. Dirt Every Day is no longer. But Fred and Dave are kind of grabbing life by the horns and dropping into the YouTube world. And I'm trying to help Dave because Dave is such a creatively unique individual within that world, and trying to help tell his story and help him showcase his vehicle builds. And I'm thankful that, my rigs get to be a part of that process too, which is pretty sick, and getting to hang out with him. He's good people for sure.
What's getting done to the Yoda? Is that information classified?
No, yeah. It's like relatively.
What year is it? Give me a baseline.
Yeah.
What did it start as?
Yeah. So
it's not that anymore.
Yeah. So it's just like a first gen, like 2001 Toyota Tundra. So it's kind of like it's honestly a Tacoma with a V8 in it, which is why I wanted it. It's a very gutless V8. It's not that cool, but it is cool. And yeah, I did like full upper and lower control arms, like big dog coilovers on it, re-geared lockers, axle shafts.
On 40s?
It's on 30. It's on 35s for now. See what we can break on it.
Nothing a Sawzall can't fix.
Yeah, straight up. So yeah, it's been fun, man. Like Dave has been slinging on that thing with me and helping getting it done and putting episodes together on it. But it's kind of the cool like little light duty truck that can still haul a moto, but it should be able to. I mean, it's got. Again, I'm a gear nerd, so I was like, yes, and Dave helped put it all together for me. Yeah. So
I geek out over cars and all that stuff. So I watch like Roadkill for every single episode. I watch all Dirt Every Day.
Yeah.
The part that I either get concerned that I might be dumb is like over the course of maybe 10 years of watching this stuff, I haven't really retained any of the information, and I have no idea how, say Roadkill, for example, those guys can walk into a junkyard, be like, oh, it's 69 Oldsmobile, but this 71 Chevy camshaft will work in this, but as long as it's with the 350s, whatever. They just start rattling numbers off and know parts from like base model cars, like not even hot rods,
Totally.
that will work in corresponding vehicles from
Totally.
different years, different manufacturers. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you learn that.
Dude, it is nuts. And it's like so nice to be around those dudes to be like, Cam, that's dumb.
Yeah,
You're
no
not
question's
doing
a
that.
dumb question.
Yeah,
They'll know
exactly.
the answer.
They'll know the answer. But before you know it, like you'll have a Hellcat swap Miata and you're stoked. So, yeah, those guys, like Dave has done everything from lowriders to like rigs on 54s to like his like eye and style for fabrication. And like, it's honestly like it's magic to watch him do stuff. I'm like over here trying to like just thread a bolt and then he's like 3-linked a microwave with suspension and bypasses and coilovers. And I'm just like over here just like
cross-threading
the crap out of something. I'm like, Dave. And he's like, ugh. So anyways, he puts up with me. But yeah, man. I feel like I didn't even answer. That was just a rant. I didn't really answer whatever your question was.
It wasn't even a question. It was just a rambling statement. Yeah. I just don't. It's incredible to me, the knowledge on certain industries, passions, whatever. Because I know a lot about snowmobiles. Yeah. But there's definitely some nuts and bolts I could not name that I'm confident if it was an automobile, those guys would know every... Like if it's an M10 or like just stuff like that. When I watch that show, any of those types of shows, I'm like, how in the hell do you just store this type of information away? Dude,
it's literally, it's a wealth of knowledge that I do not have, but thankfully I have friends that do have. Yeah. So that world, and kind of like, this is kind of like a roundabout, like I guess answer, but I just kind of, I love people and I love figuring out what makes them tick, and I love telling their story in the way that I know how to do that, whether that's through photo and video. And there's a lot of really interesting people and scenarios and topics that go undocumented, and that's the kind of thing where I'd like to use my skill set to help show that. Because I think like passion is like one of the most like infectious things. It doesn't matter if they're a surfboard shaper or a snowmobile rider. Like I'm very new to the snow scene. To see Jay and Blaine or Ross or you or Jason Bourne ride a sled, like it's like magical for me to watch. And I like want to be a part of that. And I want to like, I'm never going to be a Ross or a Jay or a Blaine or a whoever, but like, I can be around that and experience it. And again, whether that's sled or like building a crazy suspension for a race truck, like it's all very cool.
Your true colors shine through on exactly what you were saying about trying to learn a lot or a little about a lot of different passions. Because my experience with you specifically is snowmobiles, right? Yeah. And I've had countless calls or texts from you asking good questions about the sleds or technique, whatever it may be. Totally. But yeah, you're just eager to figure something out and, adequately be able to get out there and conquer terrain and be a player in it and capture the content you want to capture.
Yeah. And I think like with that being said, it's like nobody likes to be. It's so fun when you can go and be proficient in like, I don't want to say like a scary situation, but a situation that you need to be like relatively dialed at and be able to like thrive and like be able to make it happen, in the mountains or wherever that may be. So I'm not would say like dialed on a sled. I definitely got it a lot more figured out this year. But yeah, just thankful for everyone that's kind of brought me along the way and help me earn my stripes and be able to help me run a camera and do the thing. Yeah. So
Sane Skinner, it always stuck out to me, and I understand it in one discipline only. And this goes for anything, mountain biking, dirt biking, whatever, auto racing. He's like, when it becomes a feeling and you're not thinking about what the next maneuver is or what the next body positioning point is, it just fluidly happens. Yeah. That's like the most stress-free scenario
flow
you can
state.
be in. Yeah, just flow state constantly. And, I'm trying like hell to figure that out on a dirt bike. It's not the only thing that I'm feeling is me tipping left and right and bouncing off stuff and not slipping the clutch correctly. But I get what he's saying in a sled and that feeling. So like the frustrating, try not to get frustrated about it. the frustrating thing is like, I know that feeling on this machine.
Yep, totally. Why
can I not replicate it on this machine?
Yep.
Yeah. And it just makes everything easier, more enjoyable.
Totally.
It's still super, super fun. It's growing pains of learning, but that point when it does become a feeling it's just another day on, throwing your legs over it and going for a ride.
Totally. And I think it's cool. Like I'm never going to be able to like go chuck like 150 foot, like send on a sled. But like if I go like hit like a little jump and I can like feel, that feeling. Smack the lip. Like, I don't know, man, there's just something where it's like being able to like connect with your subject, like as a film guy, as like, wow, like I can only imagine like how sick that must feel for them, and like the amount of time that they dedicate to their craft, to be able to do that and do that relatively safely, I think is like so sick. So
I'd love to do something a bit more. I miss doing the films. Mm-hmm. It's a double-edged sword.
Totally.
Like I love to hate it and hate to love it, and back and forth constantly. Mainly because for the audiences now, I was just talking about this to the team the other day. I'm like, I honestly feel like we still are putting too much effort into the YouTube series. Mm-hmm. Like it almost needs to be dumbed down more.
Totally.
And if you guys leave a comment on this, because I can't pull myself away from whether Reeve or whoever Mike up in Canada is doing it or myself to like not having some cinematic cutaways, because that's kind of my little bit of like holding on to the film days, because the films are 5 minutes of just the best footage all year.
Yeah.
And now you go watch Joe Blow with a GoPro get 150,000 views on something that he shot on an afternoon or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
And you put 4 or 5 days into this thing.
Totally.
And it gets, 20% views compared to these guys. And it's frustrating, interesting, but the biggest battle too is we got so many riders that we can't just consistently be weekly uploads.
Yeah, totally.
You gotta make everybody happy in the team. It's a level playing field. We're all equal, but I don't know. I'd love to do something like mini docu-series, but there's just not enough hours in the day and bandwidth to do it all, but it's always in the back of my mind.
Yeah, I don't know, man, like you and the rest of the 509 crew have just done such a good job of like being core to like what you guys are, as far as just putting together, dope content. And
Cam plays a big role. I can't believe I didn't mention that yet. Cam has been editing a lot of our webisodes from the US side for the last 2 seasons now.
Yeah, 2 years. So. Yeah. Thank you. Mm-hmm. If you didn't like an episode, he edited it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, man. It's been so fun. Like, again, it's like getting to live vicariously through you guys, through being able to edit those and like see all the guys that can just absolutely chuck on a sled is like very cool. And I've thankfully like through you guys have become kind of friends with some of them. And man, it's such a cool. Snowmobiling is like such a cool industry, and it's really cool to see the legs. Like, I'm very new to the snowmobile industry, but like it just feels like it's still rapidly changing in so many different ways as far as riders moving up. And
I think it's the most, outside of say automobiles, it's like the most technologically advancing form of motorized recreation. I mean, a motorcycle, a dirt bike has been relatively the same. For like a Yamaha YZ has been like the same chassis since like
Vietnam.
Like like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Versus Polaris Ski-Doo Cat.
Totally.
They change the chassis every 4 or 5 years, and the riding, the skill sets on your average weekend warrior is just continuously climbing and climbing.
Oh, dude, it's nuts.
I just have no idea where it's going to be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine when freaking Blaine has a kid and that thing gets on a Ski-Doo at 3 months old? Like, it'll be nuts. Like,
I look at it, so you take drag racing, take motocross, whatever. You can go take a 77 Mustang and build the crap out of it and put it next to a Hellcat or whatever and spank it, right?
Yeah.
You can't take a not even. You can't take an '03 Summit ZX wedge chassis and put it up against a 2000 and just say even 20 Gen 4 and take in the mountains. And even if you mod the hell of it, it's not even going to go close to where that thing's going.
Yeah, you're going to have that danger manifold laptop right next to you trying to keep up.
A dirt bike, you go watch like, I think like, what did Tomac maybe did one and McGrath did one where they had the CR500s or the KX500s.
Yep.
And they did just the raw video.
Yeah,
they rip them around the track.
It's nuts.
So fast, and they're hitting the same jumps they're hitting on their new 450s.
Yeah,
you can't do that 20 years back in sleds. Like, it's one of the few sports that has progressed so fast where you go 20 years back and there's not even a chance of competing or riding at the same level on them.
Yeah, just that you can get like 85 horsepower sled from the factory and go find yourself like 15 feet up a tree is just like nuts.
There's not really, at least that I can think of right now, any sport that has that quick of a gap in technology in such a small time frame.
Yeah, it's rad to see, and like I'm definitely like a Jerry, like trying to like catch up for sure, but it's
you do fine, Cam.
I do all right, but I'm just like a dad bod sledder where like I can make it happen, but it's not gonna be fancy.
It's because half the time you're in your ski boots.
I know, straight up. So yeah, man, I don't know where my brain's going right now, but it's freaking cool. So, and it's sweet to be a part of like multifaceted things, because it's like when the snow starts to, go away, it's like, man, I'm excited to do something with dirt. And when it starts raining again and snow starts flying, it's like I'm juiced to start the next chapter with snowmobiling.
There's never a dull moment when you get yourself involved in numerous activities.
Yep. So it's just playing the management game of doing it all. So I'm trying to keep people happy while you do it. So
okay, I got two last things for you.
Yep.
One, what is the future Cam schedule? Anything cool for anybody to check out coming up? Obviously, if you, like I mentioned before, if you guys haven't seen Famous Potatoes yet, go search it on YouTube. You might get a few videos of potato harvesting and farming.
Which those are sick too. Subscribe to those as well.
But you sort through, you'll find the ski one.
Yeah.
But anything in the immediate pipeline here that you're stoked on coming out? If you can't say anything, so be it.
I definitely have quite a bit of can't say, but I'm doing a pretty fun thing entailing the new Ford Bronco, which I'm pretty excited about. It'll be a week-long thing in Wyoming. And then actually this month I'm headed out to shoot the new 2029, but the next year lineup of all the Yamaha stuff. So everything from moto to side-by-side to probably one wheel to jet ski. I don't know. So it'll be a lot of different stuff.
They also make pianos.
Yeah. Pianos, drum sets. So
keyboards.
If you like the videos, holla at your boy. So, yeah, man, I think it's just like this ever evolving circle of like opportunity and trying to, I'm just a Spokane kid that like didn't go to school to like, I don't know if does Spokane know what a camera is yet, or are we still figuring that out? But
we just got Back in Black ACDC at Best Buy this week. I saw that.
Yeah, Canon 5D.
Sits under new releases.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just trying to create opportunity for myself and take care of people and friends and clients and do it in my style and do things that fill my cup and stoke me out. So
I love it. I love watching everything you do and
thanks,
getting
man.
A little behind the scenes look at it here and there.
Yeah.
And the final thing, because you're a damn inspirational giant, you're a large man. I look very small over here.
All.
Any words of wisdom for anybody else trying to do this, chase this? Because mine's super specific. I get that question a lot. And mine's really just snowmobiling, right? At its core. You, like we've been talking about, have managed to put yourself and open up all these doors to different industries.
Yeah. I think like the biggest couple things is don't worry about the equipment. Like definitely have something to be like relatively proficient, but everyone asks me like, oh man, what'd you do to like make this? Don't get too big headed. Always be willing to learn. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to fail. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. And, you're only going to be whatever you're producing. So if you want to be a motorsports filmmaker and all you're doing is shooting weddings, it's going to be really hard for you to tap in that world. And there's no hate to like those that are shooting weddings, because this is a very hard industry to like carve a niche in, and you got to do what you got to do to pay the bills. Like I've literally shot carpet cleaning stuff. Like, I mean, dude, anything from petting zebras to backflips on sleds, I've shot it. But just make sure you're doing what you want to do as your end goal. And even if it's like a not direct route to your end goal, just make sure you're keeping that in your crosshairs. Otherwise, it's a really easy industry to get burnout in, because it's a lot of work and it's a grind. So,
and don't bid on the same jobs as Cam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 519's mine. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Just stay inspired, ask questions, and be willing to work hard and be willing to work for free, or I don't know, but be true to you. So, well,
Cam, I appreciate the time immensely. We've been chatting about it. I know your schedule's busy. Mine's busy. We're constantly back and forth. Either I'm out of town, you're out of town.
Yep.
And the only time we seem to overlap is when we hire you.
Yeah. And so, you're out of town, I'm in town. So no, I appreciate, like, I really do. It's been so fun working, not to be like brand plug guy, but 509, it's been so fun working with you. And like your guys' crew here is like beyond rad. I'm stoked that they're down with my weirdness and just like keeping it fun. And
you're part of the family now.
Yeah. Stoked. So 2023 is going to be a good one. So,
well, if you guys want to check out some of Cam's work, you just literally pronounce this as Cam Hooch.
Cam Hooch.
Yeah. CamHootch on Instagram. He tends to do kind of fun little spin-off promo edits of even the stuff that we've done. If he's edited a Webby, he'll kind of do a little 30-second, 60-second reel on his take on it. But there's everything on there, from the skiing adventures to the off-road stuff to sledding.
Just hot boy shit.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. You need that shirt made finally.
Yeah, straight up.
Cam, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I'm sure you have some Mexico trip to get to.
Yep.
But if people really enjoyed listening to you, I might have you come back. I'll get back to you on that.
And if you don't, that's chill. So.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We're getting back on this finally. I know. We were doing so well. We were like 19 episodes deep, and then life got chaotic. So I'm kind of going on a little podcast tour in like a week and a half to just stack some more. So bear with me. I'm one guy. I'm doing what I can. I know you guys enjoy this, and I appreciate that you enjoy it because it motivates us to make more of them. But if you are listening on YouTube, we always check out the comments. Leave a comment. What do you want to see more of? Maybe toss Cam a question in there, and I'll bug him to go look at them and read them. If you're on Spotify or Apple, thank you for all 5-star reviews. They're really humbling. Especially the guy that said I had a nice voice.
I was going to say, you got a gorgeous voice.
It's a little crackly right now because I got some spring allergies going on.
Yeah, but it gives you that like country kind of gravel. We should start smoking so we sound sick on
What
here.
if we did just sit here and just smoke darts the whole time?
Dude, I would just cough the entire time. I'm a softie.
Just
I'm
cowboy
more of a
killers.
juice box guy. So
cowboy killers and like Miller high lifes the whole time. All right, we're not going to do that, but we will see you guys in a couple weeks. And later, Cam.
Peace.